I'm joined now by Paul Newman to explore how the scientific community has evolved in its ability to connect, collaborate, and work towards shared purpose. We'll reflect on key turning points that have shaped how researchers collaborate across disciplines, sectors, and cultures, and look ahead to the new forms of connection, technological, social, and institutional, that may define the future of scientific progress. Thanks so much for joining me today, Paul.
Thanks, Sarah. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump into a couple of questions.
Okay.
Over the course of your career, how have you seen the scientific community evolve in its ability to foster connection, cooperation, and shared purposes?
Well, one of the really important things in my career is the evolution I've seen of policy and science working together. So ozone depletion, the destruction of the ozone layer, was a big issue when I joined NASA back in the mid-'80s. Ozone depletion was an existential threat. Life can't exist on the surface if all of that UV radiation from the sun gets to the surface. Now, the information from science went to policy people, and the policy people could take a look at that, start thinking about how they could enact policies that could lead to the restoration of the ozone layer. That was huge in connecting global communities between science and policy.
I love that. And that's going to tie in directly to our theme this year, which is where science connects us. Yeah. Can I ask for you, just kind of leaning into that since you went into the connections, what does where science connects us, this year's theme, mean to you when you're talking about, you go back into your storied career that you've had?
As a scientist, I come to meetings, AGU, and I meet my colleagues. I have a great time. You get to see new science, you get to see new presentations. You're connecting with your colleagues and talking with them. Yeah. You know, it's great. You can watch a presentation, you can watch something on YouTube, but sitting with the scientists and talking about it, just having a cup of coffee together, in the morning at breakfast, you learn way more. Not only that, but you develop new things. That's the really cool thing.
The ideas off of one another.
Ideas get reflected off of each other. For people in vastly different, people in Europe talking to scientists in the US, in Asia, Africa, all across the world. And so you really do foster these connections. Young to the old, old to the young. These meetings are great. Present the science, but also meet your colleagues, talk.
Networking, collaboration, get to know each other on a personal level.
Exactly.
I love that. Well, I was wondering, looking to the future, what new forms of connection, technological, social, or institutional, do you think will redefine scientific progress?
I used to be a big believer in the internet, that would really help us, but in fact, I've come to the conclusion that it's actually credibility, which is really important. You go to a website, and they might have some new scientific information in there. How credible is that website? How credible are the data? How good are the data? A temperature measurement, I have a thermometer in my backyard. I don't submit it, for inclusion in scientific documents because it's not a gold standard calibrated piece of data.
Yes.
So you want to get that. You need credibility, not only in the data itself, the measurements, the laboratory thing, but the scientists themselves need to pay attention to their own credibility. Because I believe it's more and more of this data is going to spread globally.
Well, with the advancement of technology and being able to analyze things so much faster, to your point, you've got to make sure it's coming from a gold standard source, that whatever it's written from that.
Right.
How do you hope your own contributions will support or inspire the next wave of scientific connectivity and innovation?
I'm sure some of the work I've done will be shown to be in error. But I'm actually eager that future scientists find those errors. I want science.
Because that means things are advancing and moving forward.
Exactly. Science has got to advance. Yeah. I hope that some of the work that I've done will guide the directions of research. And I hope that students, the younger generation, will be able to use what I've done, either both in the positive he was right, we should pay
Yeah.
attention to this, or he was wrong and we need to revise what we're doing. That's what science is all about.
But either way, it's helping to advance the science.
Exactly.
So
So-
it's all good.
As long as they're reading my stuff, I'll be happy.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me today. And it's all about connection and advancement. And I hope those students do take your work and either make it perfect or say, oops, you missed a spot.
I hope so too,
And they can
Sarah.
build upon it. Well, thank you for taking the time. Enjoy the rest of AGU 25, and we look forward to seeing you around.
Thanks, Sarah.